do it. Introduce yourself anyway, please. And then
Yeah.
Rosamar will take over because she gets on to me if I talk too much.
Sure. So my name is Dana Matuszyk. I work at Mark First. I'm the wellness coordinator, as you probably saw in my video. That is a new marketing technique that they're using at Mark First, and I was lucky enough to be the guinea pig for it. So I do all things like recreational at Mark First, and it's been really fun. I started as an intern there, and I've just kind of worked my way up since I graduated college. So it's been really fun.
Yeah. So, what made you want to like apply for an internship at Mark First in the first place?
Yeah, so I've actually been part of this community my whole entire life. So I've always been around adults with developmental disabilities. My cousin lives in a group home, just like how Mark First provides, but it's just in a different town. So I've always been part of this community and I love it so much. So it's my biggest passion. And I just want to make sure that everyone has like the great quality of life that they deserve. And that's what my job has really allowed me to do, which has been really great.
Before you got an internship?
Oh.
No, Jenny always goes first. Jenny first.
Were you like, did you know like what like age group that you wanted to work with, like when you got out of college and going into your internship?
So when I started college, I actually went to community college and then I came to ISU. I started my major as early childhood development. And then I was in a classroom with kids and I was like, this isn't for me. And that's when I changed my major to FCS. So definitely did not know. You need to try out everything because you might think that you are going to love something and then you could get in there and absolutely hate it. So that was definitely what it took for me. I mean, I love kids, but I could not work with them every day. I think I would go crazy.
I was going to ask Dana what she remembered about being president of this group or in CFR.
I mean, I remember being guilted into it. But I was very happy that I was able to do that because it was so much fun and I learned so much. I mean, I was very busy, so it was kind of a crazy time because I was going to school full time, working full time, and I was president of CFR, so it was a lot. But it was a really good experience for me for time management and just building more relationships. And I mean, I've been able to keep this great connection with Dr. A and come back to talk to you guys. And it's just been great. It was a really great experience. So I'm not angry that I got guilted into it, Dr. A.
Okay, good. I can get out in public
let you forget it.
That's all right. I recall for the children's event, we have fifth graders for a full day normally. And I recall, to use a Southern phrase, which may be a Midwestern phrase too, but Dana sweating bullets as the day approached for that. But when the day got there, Dana had done everything and she simply had to go along for the ride and enjoy it. And
just be there. Yeah. Yes, that was my favorite event, hands down. It was so much fun. And it was stressful leading up to it because there were a lot of, different moving parts, but it was really nice to actually just be able to be there. And that has helped me now in my career because I am juggling moving parts constantly because I coordinate all of the big recreational events that we go to. So I've taken people to Chicago, to like Wrigley Field, to one of the busiest places, and had a group of like 15 people with me. And I had to make sure they were all accounted for at all times. And with adults too, that might be hard with children, but it's even harder with adults because they blend in even more than children do. So that event really did help me with even my career now.
That's one of our premier events.
Yeah.
Last year we had Officer Sage
to
make sure that all the kids were together as they were crossing the street and everything.
I'm sure that was fun.
Yeah. And like we couldn't have it this year because of the pandemic and everything. So that was sad, but hopefully we can do it next year. Hopefully everything is safe next year. And we get the opportunity to do it. Because I do remember last year, like I know Jenny can remember back to it. Like, it was stressful, like planning all of it. And we were like, oh my God, is this even going to turn out okay? But then the day of, it was like, it ran so smoothly. Like, I couldn't even imagine it running as smooth as it did. And Carla was there too. And it was like the best thing ever. Even in like my internship, when I interviewed, like, they asked what's something you were proud of doing or something like that. And I was like, we did this whole event and it was so great and the kids were so great and it was really beneficial. It really was.
Yep. I believe I talked about that in my internship interview as well.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yep.
So I had a question, but it's leaving my mind right now. What's your favorite part of your job?
I love just being with the people that I get to support. I am lucky enough to be part of their lives, and I just love spending time with them. So if you ask anyone at Mark First, they will tell you that I have the best job in the whole agency, and it is very much so the truth. I get to have fun with everyone and just live the best moments of their lives. I do see those hard moments, don't get me wrong, but I really get to see them shine and figure out what they love the most in life. And it's so fun. I love learning new things about them and just kind of figuring out what they love and their personalities, because everyone's so different, but just finding the pieces that make them the happiest, because this is their life. And, we're the people that I support. I'm going into their home and I would just want them to be as happy and proud of themselves in their home as they can be and just the lives they're living. So that would definitely be it.
Yeah. So I know, like, especially for me, like, I don't really know what job I want to get. Like, I'm just being thrown into the real world with no safety net.
Yep.
So what kind of jobs are available at Mark First that you think we can work in, or what kind of jobs did you, like, when you were in college, were you thinking about going into?
So I always knew that I wanted to work with people with developmental disabilities. That's always been my passion. So that's definitely the direction I went with. At Mark First, though, we actually just opened up a behavioral health clinic. It's very new to our agency. We're still kind of figuring out the whole program and building it to how we want it to be. But that is definitely something that, if you're interested in mental health, that is a really awesome way to start. I don't know all of the different levels of where people start with that clinic, just because it is so new. But if anyone is ever interested, I can definitely know who to get you into contact with, and talk more about that. I have an intern from ISU. She's a social work intern, and she is going to be applying for, it's called the mental health professional. And so she's going to try to go into that role, which is really exciting for me, because one of my interns is going to be hopefully having a job at Mark First, which is awesome. But that is a really cool route to go. Our residential program, so that's technically what I work in, that's supporting people in their daily lives. It varies from different parts of their lives. So I do like the recreational side. I do have, actually I'm hiring somebody right now for kind of like my assistant, which is pretty exciting for me. But they would help me with like the social programs that I run and the different recreational things and community outings. So that's available there, but there are constantly jobs open. Some start at a really low level it's called like the direct support professional. That's where you go into their homes and you actually help them with their like hygiene. And that's not something that requires a degree at all. But for like college students, if you need a job, like a part-time job, it's a great way to start and get yourself into a career path, even if you don't want to continue that career, but just gain experience, because it's wonderful experience. So that is something we're always hiring for. We also have our pediatric program. So we have pediatric therapy. So that goes, and there are so many different programs like developmental training, OT, we have ABA services, so behavioral services. There are a lot of different parts of Mark First that you probably wouldn't realize that are there, but we serve all age groups. So there are definitely a lot of job openings always, and they're always posted on our website.
Does anyone else have any questions? Dr.
Go
A.
ahead, Doc.
Now, I'm just walking down memory lane, so forgive me. You went to an NCFR conference, right? I do
I did.
recall that.
I went to 2.
That's right. And one of them was in Vancouver, and I've forgotten where the other one was. Was that
Minneapolis?
Minneapolis, okay.
Yep.
We didn't get to go this year. Well, Jenny presented this year at NCFR, but on Zoom, of course, but nevertheless a presentation. And it looks like the fall is going to be that way. That's always been our big recruitment tool in this group is we're going to raise money and we're going to go. And I wondered if you had memories of those places. And no one was arrested that I recall. And so, but do you have other memories, or how would you recommend that, Dana?
Yeah. I mean, NCFR really caught my eye because I went to the first meeting and you guys mentioned Vancouver, and I was like, what? This group's going to take me out of the country. That's crazy. And so that definitely caught my eye. And that was a big reason why, I was interested in what we were talking about, but just the fact that I was going to be able to go to a conference as a college student, that was really amazing for me. It was a really great way to get to know the other people in CFR because I was brand new to the group and went straight away to Vancouver with everyone. And so I was kind of the newbie, and it was a great time. Got to know everybody really well. I learned a lot during those conferences, made some really cool connections, and kind of was able to see different things that I was interested in, trying to kind of make myself step out of my comfort zone, which is supporting people with developmental disabilities, to try to see if I was interested in anything else. And it kind of gave me that opportunity to see what else I was interested in, which was really good for me because otherwise I probably wouldn't have ever stepped out of my comfort zone.
Thank you, Dana.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with the NCFR, like how I went to NCFR in 2019, like I just joined the club, and I was in like Dr. A's classes, and then he was like talking about it, and he was like, are you going? And I told him no, and then he like just convinced me like basically on the spot to do it, and I'm like so glad I went because I didn't know anyone, but the girls I shared a room with, like I'm still like really close with them, and it was just like really cool that we just connected like that quickly and so easily. And yeah, it's a great way to definitely make friends in college.
Oh, yes. Dr. A, you're pretty persuasive.
I'm getting that.
Really
it's not the way I see myself at all, but okay. I'm still reeling with the Dr. A guilted me into that. Did I? I thought I was just convincing, but I guess if it works, it works. But
I didn't regret it, so it's okay.
And I haven't picked on anybody since you've been gone, Dana.
I don't believe that at all. It's okay. I always enjoyed your picking on because, your classes were my favorite ones, so if that speaks anything.
Wow. Starting to feel pretty good about being me right now. Yeah, but hopefully we can see that again next year. It'll be on Zoom, but in the months to come, ILCFR and hopefully NCFR in the future. We had it at St. Louis this year, and we were really looking forward to it being in our backyard before the pandemic. But that has been our big recruiting tool, that now that we do not have that. So I just wanted you to speak to keep it alive there.
Yeah. Definitely worth going to.
Do you have any advice for like exec board people like on taking on such leadership roles and stuff?
Even if you're scared to do it because it will be a better experience than you ever imagined. Even if you think that you can't do it, I promise you can, because I never was part of any exec boards before I was president. I think I was the publicity chair for like a semester.
Me too.
And then I jumped into president. So you don't have to have experience, you guys. This is your experience, and this is the best way to get experience and to realize how confident you can be in yourself and just your abilities. Because believe me, I'm not the most confident person, and I never have been, but I was able to be president with a little bit of a boost, and a lot of help from the rest of my exec board. So you're not doing it alone. You guys are always going to have other people supporting you and being there for you. Even if you don't want to be president, there are so many other opportunities. And I will definitely say that it helped me feel more confident in myself, because knowing that I could handle all of those things, and on top of going to college full-time and working full-time too, I was able to still be the president of CFR, and that helped me just know that I was capable of anything when I was going into my career. So definitely worth it.
Yeah, I agree. I myself I kind of have social anxiety, so like presentations and stuff and talking in public is like, but like here I am this whole year. I've been doing like presentations every 2 weeks, so it's really helped me like come out of my shell, and I've made friends with everybody here as well. Like before CFR and before being on the exec board, I didn't really talk to anyone. Like I would just go to class and then go back home. But now like I have friends, and everyone here is my friends, so it's really been a great experience, especially being on the exec board.
Yes, I would definitely agree with not liking to speak socially.
Yeah.
I'm not a big presentation type of gal, but then they made me do that video, and everyone just loves it. It's my worst nightmare, because I just constantly see my face on Facebook every time I open the app. So.
Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened.
I'm going to have a t-shirt made that says, "You don't have to have experience. This is your experience, Dana."
That's
I'm going to
good.
have that, I think.
I'll make
I
this for
prefer that.
Facebook.
Yeah, I'm going to use that in some fashion.
Yeah.
That works for this group, because we recreate ourselves almost on an annual basis.
Mhm.
Our major is discovered, so most of our people have transferred recently into the major or from a community college. So we are constantly recreating. I can't do this. Yes, well, Dana says you can't. So.
You need a little pep talk, I got you back.
All right.
Does anyone else have any questions? Comments?
Accusations. Dana can take it.
I can take pretty much anything.
So I assume you're really going to be best man at the wedding with Eddie?
Oh my goodness. Yes, he tells me every weekend he's going to get married, because I work pretty much every weekend at his house. So every weekend, today's the wedding. The part that nobody saw in that video is that my name is not Dana to him. I am Joan. He has given me my name, and I have to go with it, because he is 80 years old, and I cannot correct him, because he is the mayor of Mark First. So what he says goes. And so, yep, that showed a very, very innocent side of Eddie, because believe me, he is not that innocent. He chases me around the house, and he's kind of a wild and crazy old man, but I tell him that every day.
Thank you so much for coming, Dana. This has been like so helpful, like with everything. It's been amazing.
Glad.
Yeah.
I am always glad to talk to you guys. And if you have any questions, Dr. A has my email. You guys can email me, and I will help you. If I can't answer your questions, I will find someone who can.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Dana means that when she says it too. She really
I
does.
do.